Welcome back to Titan Vans. Today we're going to be showcasing a new custom build on a low roof 144 Sprinter chassis. And this is actually the gas model, not the diesel that's been pretty prevalent for the last couple of years. So let's check it out. We're pretty excited. So the first thing you'll notice here, we extended the floor out into the slider door space. So we did narrow the entryway, but we were able to bring the galley out, the kitchen setup, into the slider door area, which gives us a couple of things. One, more square footage to work with so we can squeeze some more cabinetry in. Two, one nice feature about this is since we put the sink in the slider door area, the faucet not only is used with the sink, but also seconds to be able to use exterior of the vehicle. So quick spray down shower, or even just filling up water bottles. It's kind of nice to just have the access to the faucet, both from outside the van and then obviously inside the van, which is its primary use. Cool. Inside the van, you'll notice the setup. Large couch setup, enough room, 3 to 4 people. We also installed the swivel seats up front on both the driver and passenger seat here, so it creates a really nice hangout area. Even though it's a low roof, it still feels nice and spacious in here. For eating time, and kind of hosting, small get-togethers here, the Lagoon table system, and we really like using the Lagoon system in this sort of format where we have a low bench setup, and then the Lagoon extends over the top. It's a little bit harder in these sorts of setups when you're trying to use a Lagoon at countertop height, but in this setup, perfect. So what's really nice about this, you can adjust the height so it has a lever down below that you can loosen, lift the height up and down to get it to your comfort level, and then it has 2 knobs here that allow you to both rotate and swivel the entire assembly. So it's a lot of versatility. Use it here when you're hanging out on the couch for the computer kind of work area. Slide it over here for kind of more of a 2-person tabletop setup. And then when it's not in use, we can also stow it off to the side, lock it down with the levers, and it can travel really nicely that way. So really nice little setup, simple, and works really well in this sort of format. So moving on to the kitchen. This is a unique kitchen for us. This was kind of a new design, very simple, but I think it came out very clean and elegant for what it is. So both the fresh water and the gray water are housed underneath the sink. And so usually what we would do is we'd have a fixed freshwater tank with a water pump, and our gray water is generally underneath the van. This client wanted a little bit of a simpler setup, so we came up with this for him. And what's really cool about this system is 6 gallons of freshwater capacity, 6 gallons of gray water, so matching tanks. And then you can see here we have quick disconnect fittings on both the gray water and on the fresh water. So very simple. There's a little button on the back side here. Simply press and lift it out. So very quick and easy to switch these in and out, refill the freshwater tank, and then this guy just clips right back in. And then the same on the gray water. So once you run out of fresh water, simply unclip, loosen the strap, slide it out. You can fill it up in a sink faucet, hose, whatever you got access to. It's very easy in and out. And then the gray water, the same thing. When it fills up, the 6 and 6 makes it really nice. Is kind of once you go to refill the fresh water, pull the gray and dump it in an appropriate location. And the quick disconnects make it really fast and simple to get it in and out. Tucked behind there is kind of a little difficult to see, but we have a 2-gallon water pump just underneath the sink. It's kind of tucked back here. And so this goes directly here to the freshwater intake and then gets connected directly up to the faucet up here on top. And so it is only a cold water system. It does not have a hot water heater built into this. So very simple, but clean, elegant solution. Keeps both the freshwater and gray water inside, so a little bit less headaches with freezing or getting damage if you're off-roading and hit a tank or something like that. So yeah, came out really nice. Moving on down the line, we have a little drawer here, bamboo drawer slide here with so for utensils. Has the marine rim latch, so when you press it in, it extends up and locks into place underneath here. Keeps it from coming in and out. On soft close there and locked down. Just below it, we have an isotherm Cruise Elegance 65. So simple little fridge, has some nice features, does have a little freezer built into it. Very similar to some of the other ones you'll see in our videos, the Cruise 130, which is just its big brother. Very identical in most manners except for the size. It is a 12-volt DC fridge, so it does not run off AC, it does not run off propane, runs directly off the auxiliary battery in the back, and is very low power draw. So they're extremely efficient, they're very quiet, they work great. We've had a lot of success, and we haven't seen one fail yet. So they're great little units if you're looking for a fridge. Over here, large storage cabinet in here. On this side is the same. So we got a lot of storage, and then here is where we stored the cassette toilet. So very simple, again, not an overcomplicated design. Cassette toilet has a little reservoir in the bottom, kind of more for emergency use, but can be used daily as well if it's your prerogative. It has a small water reservoir in the top. You fill that up and you pressurize the system, and it has a little push button here on the front that allows you to kind of spray, essentially flush the toilet, and then everything is caught down below. So you can very easily remove this guy. It's a pretty small unit, just to kind of give you an idea of the size. So not too large, but simple. So this is the Dometic Sani Potty. I believe it's the 970. So again, simple unit, simple design, but works great, and it's there when you need it. In the back here is our electrical system. I'll pop this door open just for a little more lighting here. So you'll see, again, simple design. 12-volt DC system. So all we have, fridge, water pump, the battery heater pad, USB, fan, and lights overhead. Battery disconnect switch, and our large fuses here for our charging relay, directly from the alternator. Down below, this is our 200 amp hour lithium ion battery. This battery is by Victron, and this is controlled by a BMS system, a battery management system, that allows this battery, so it monitors temperature, voltage, and current, and will decide. The BMS is what I kind of like to call the gatekeeper, and it has two relays on one side of the battery, both the load side and the charging side. So what that allows the BMS to do is it controls whether the battery is going to be charged. So when the car is turned on, the alternator will start charging. The BMS allows that to happen. And then when you put a load on it, so the lights, the fridge, the water pump, the BMS also controls whether that is allowed, and it's all dependent on voltage, current, and temperature. Temperature is obviously an issue with lithium ion, so to deal with that, we've connected the Victron BMV 712 to this battery. The BMV has a built-in relay, so similar to those other relays I was talking about, but independent. And we've set that up to monitor temperature on the battery. So if the temperature drops too far, the relay closes, and you can see this small heating pad on top of the battery here. So this little heating pad down here connects right to the negative terminal. When the relay closes, the heating pad starts heating, and so we are physically heating the battery with that heating pad, and then the current flow inside the battery to heat that heating pad also generates heat internally of the battery. So we kind of attack the battery being too cold from two different sides. So it's a nice system, works well. We've ran these systems down in low temperatures. It does have its limits. If you get into really extreme cold temperatures and you're not in here actively managing it, it will get too cold. It will shut down. You haven't damaged the battery. The BMS has just recognized the temperature dropped too far, and it will shut itself off to protect the system. So not a huge deal. You just got to get the temperature back up, and the system will start working again. Over on this side, it's kind of a mirrored cabinet to the passenger side. Some little drawers. These are adjustable. They have some pins underneath here with some screws so they don't rattle when you're driving down the road, but you can adjust them up and down as needed. This cabinet, nice large storage area. This is designed over the top of the wheel well, so you kind of have a smaller cubby down here and a larger shelf up on top. And so it gives you a lot of good storage for duffel bags, clothing, that sort of stuff. So, all right, back to the bed. So pretty excited about this design that we came up for this client. He really wanted the couch setup and he wanted it to be able to enlarge into a slightly bigger bed. So he can sleep just on the couch if he kind of wants a nice, just as, you know, if he's got a lot of gear or storage equipment in here, he can just keep it simple, sleep right on the couch, no problems. If he wants a little bit of extra room or he's got somebody else joining him, we came up with a nice little elegant system. You can see a small red knob over here. This is the release for the drawer slides. If I lift this guy up, you'll see it is a kind of a slatted design, and this will actually be able to pull out. So if I release this mechanism here, release the drawer slide and slide the bed out. So the extension here gets us an extra 14 inches. That was spec'd out by the client for his specific size bed that he wanted. This easily could have been designed to come out another 6 or so inches. Obviously, it's nice to have a little bit of a walkway here, but wasn't totally necessary. Could have gotten a bit more bed out of this, but that was kind of what he requested. So once the bed is pulled out, there's a couple of snaps on the back wall here. You can see there's some on this back corner here. So kind of some simple snaps, and the receiver snap attached to the wall, so that's what keeps the cushion in place. Simply bring that down, and you'll notice there are also snaps on the slide out, which allow us to attach the cushion there to keep it from sliding off. So this guy goes in there and creates the full-size bed setup. Again, could have been a little bit bigger, but perfect size for a single person. Could squeeze two on here, gets a little bit tight, probably close to like a full-size bed. So comfortable, but not the most spacious bed we've designed. So put this guy back up. One nice feature about these slide systems is it locks both out and when it's in the stowed position. So you do have to hit the lever again to be able to slide this in, and that's how it goes in. So I'll bring this guy back out so you guys can see that design. And then these are kind of designed to be fully weighted as well. So all of the individual pieces have some structural elements built in. So, all right, down below, just some really nice storage boxes. You'll see, and then this guy is a little bit shorter because of the wheel well that this guy is actually built to go over the top of. So all undermount Blum hardware on all of our drawer boxes, rim latches again, bamboo drawer boxes, all on soft close hardware. And once stowed, we lock them up and you're ready to drive. So pretty happy with how this guy came out. Kind of a unique build for us, again, being a low roof design. Do a lot of the high roof builds, but very low key, very stealthy design, can kind of go anywhere. And we're pretty happy with how it came out. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and we'll do our best to answer them. And as always, thanks for watching.